I'm going to go back to being this generic interviewer that you said everybody asks you about the weight because you started it.
It's okay.
You started it, but I mean, you look fabulous.
Oh, yeah,
you look absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I lost 107 pounds, and the best thing is I kept it off for 3 years, and that's the toughest part because I always knew I had to get the weight off, just to get inside and deeper and work on the real stuff in there. So for 3 years, I've really been working on my emotional and internal issues that made me eat in the first place. Because we all do these things to medicate ourselves, whether it's eating, drinking, whatever. And the last 3 years have been a real journey.
But what do you really do to keep it off? I mean, I feel like that seems like the hardest part.
The big thing is the emotional eating for me. So what I do is every day when I feel like I'm going to go to food, I go, am I physically hungry? And I sit there for a minute, and if I am, I eat it. And if I'm emotionally hungry, I try to do what I need emotionally, whether it's laugh, cry, call a friend, read a book, take a nap, whatever. And sometimes I do say, I'm just going to eat anyway. So we all fall at some point. So, but every day is one of those little struggles, and you just kind of keep going forward and hope you win more times than you lose.
And do you have specific diet restrictions?
I'm
what is it that you
lucky.
do?
I had the gastric sleeve surgery, which is the one where they remove a lot of your stomach. And this way you have a very tiny stomach, so you can eat small portions the rest of your life, but it fills you up, you feel full. And there's no food you can't eat, which is really nice. But you do see after early on the first few months of going, hey, cool, I could eat like chocolate 6 times a day. You go, I have no energy, my hair's falling out, I feel terrible. So now it's mostly protein and high fiber stuff.
Well, you realize that eating good food actually makes you feel good.
Well, that's a big revelation for me because I always thought, oh, chocolate or cake or whatever makes me feel emotionally better. Now, when you want to make yourself physically feel better, you got to go to the right things.
It's tough, man.
Oh, it is.
I love chocolate. I love sweet things. So now I try to not eat as much as that, but then I'm just eating fruits all day long, which still has a lot of sugar, even though it's natural sugar.
I know.
You can't win, though.
You know what it is? It's all my best friend for 30 years. Her name's Victoria Diaz. She's a life coach. She always says, everything in moderation. If you're doing well 80% of the time, if your food's great 80%, you can't lose. You can't lose the battle. Because the 20% of the desserts and chocolate, it's just fine. We can't beat ourselves up every time we have something pleasurable to the senses.
All right, so you did this for you, right? I mean, this was about your health. This was about your life. Yeah. Did you also feel, though, pressure from the industry? The entertainment industry is the one that you're in. And,
right.
I mean, we see, I think finally now people really talking about this in a very upfront way, or you see Amy Schumer's skit that she released the other week, right, about women becoming a certain age and they're unfuckable.
Yes.
But did you ever let any of that affect you?
Well, no, only because I'm a stand-up comic and I never wanted to be in movies or on TV, so I was just like, well, I can be fat, thin, ugly, pretty, it doesn't matter. With stand-up, we are so free to be who we are. I felt it more from a health point of view and also from a hey, I can't solve the big things inside if I don't get rid of, every time I look in the mirror, I just feel like a failure. Because honestly, when you're overweight, at least when I was, I just look in the mirror and go, if I can't solve this, I must be crazy. Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do it? Once I got that done, I said, okay, now I can go in. So I felt more of the pressure from myself wanting to grow as a person.
How's that going?
Oh my God, it's so much better. Because I started working on the anger that made me eat, the sadness. Anything that I've sort of stuffed down with food or what anybody else would stuff down with alcohol or shopping or gambling or whatever, I go, wow, those issues, yeah, you feel them, you cry about them, you get therapy about them, you go to spiritual retreats about them, but eventually you go, oh, I've sort of gotten those issues under control, I'm working on them every day, and I can sort of stay this weight too, which will make me live longer.